Phone. Thank you for joining us this morning, Mr. Trump. So we saw these incidents in Tucson last night. What more will you be doing to stop your supporters from acting out like this?
Well, it's not only Tucson. I mean, we had a great rally right next to Phoenix, and it was an amazing 21,000 people, but the protesters blocked the road. So you had thousands of people that couldn't get in. Sheriff Joe, who did a fantastic job, immediately arrested 3 people, and the rally totally broke up. It totally broke up. The people that were protesting, and they left, and they went, and there was no more problem, and everybody went in. We had 21,000. There wasn't one word during this massive rally.
But what about this violence, Mr. Trump?
Then a little bit later on, we went to other areas. I mean, we went all over. Frankly, we went all over Arizona, and we went to Tucson, and we had some people that wouldn't allow people for the rally into the door. They were making it almost impossible to get in. We had 6,000 or 7,000 people at least. We had 2,000 people outside. They wouldn't allow them in. These people are very disruptive people, George.
But does that excuse punching and kicking a protester?
Well, he or his partner was wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit. This happened to be an African-American man who was a person at the rally, who was very, very incensed at the fact that a protester, would be wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit, and he went.
You appear to be excusing that kicking and punching
frankly,
there.
that was it was a tough thing to watch, and I watched that. But why would a protester walk into a room with a Ku Klux Klan outfit on?
Well, it looked like he was wearing an American flag right there, but does that justify violence, punching and kicking?
If you would have seen him just before he went up the stairs, him and his partner were one of them was wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit.
So you're not going to condemn the protester who kicked and punched that person?
We don't condone violence, and I say it, and we have very little violence, very, very little violence at the rallies. As I said, in Phoenix, we had 21,000 people. We didn't even have anybody stand up and try and disrupt. They're disruptors, and they're really stopping our First Amendment rights. If you think about it, George, they blocked a road. They put their cars in front of a road. We had thousands and thousands of people wanting to come. They were delayed for an hour because of these protesters, and at what point do people blame the protesters? These are people that are
So you're blaming the
agitators.
protesters, not the person who actually punched and kicked the protester?
No, I'm saying this. These are professional agitators, and I think that somebody should say that when a road is blocked going into the event so that people have to wait sometimes hours to get in, I think that's very fair, and there should be blame there, too. When signs are put up, lifted up with tremendous profanity on them, I mean the worst profanity, and you have television cameras all over the place, and people see these signs, I think maybe those people have some blame and should suffer some blame also.
Well, we also have seen that video there of your campaign manager, Lewandowski, who does appear in that video to grab the collar of the protester, also your private security. Why is your campaign manager out in the crowd engaging protesters? This is the second incident.
Well, you know what? Because the security at the arena, the police were a little bit lax, and he had signs. They had signs up in that area that were horrendous, that I cannot say what they said on the sign, but the ultimate word, and it was all over the camera, and frankly, the television cameras can't take it, and they can't do anything about it, and I will give him credit. Spirit. Now, he didn't touch. He wasn't.
Well, the video does show that he touched him. Your private security pulled him, but it does show he grabbed the collar.
I mean, I give him credit for having spirit. He wanted them to take down those horrible profanity-laced signs. Look, these are disruptors. They go into a room with 20,000 people, or they go into a room with 6,000 or 7,000 people, and they stand up and they start shouting things. And at some point, somebody should say, I will say this, Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Phoenix arrested 3 people. As soon as he arrested those 3 people, everybody else immediately left.
Well, but it is the job of the police to arrest protesters who are being disruptive, if they are indeed breaking law. There's no question.
Happened.
But you appear to be
that happened in the Phoenix area. It didn't happen in Tucson.
You appear to be much more upset by the protesters than by the violent response to those protesters.
I am very, I wouldn't use the word upset. I think it's very unfair that these really, in many cases, professional, in many cases, sick protesters can put cars on a road, blocking thousands of great Americans from coming to a speech, and nobody says anything about that. But they'll say something about whatever. I will tell
Kicking
you, George,
and punching
it's
a
very
protester.
unfair. Let me just tell you, it's a very unfair double standard. Why don't you mention the fact that people were delayed for an hour to get into an arena in the only road going there, that they were delayed for an hour because people were blocking the road? And why don't you say in Tucson, where the people were blocking the main entrance into the arena?
We showed that blockade right at the top of the broadcast.